and welcome to another episode of Coffee with a Kick, Summer Edition. Wow, short sleeves. Look at how short these sleeves are, and it's so hot outside. How's the weather down there in Nashville? Is it still muggy, hot, and very pollinated?
You know, it's not too bad now. I think the pollen has left. Today it was a nice brisk, like 78, so I couldn't complain.
Okay. You know what? For a Nashville summer, that I agree. The pollen left and left cicadas behind. Are they still chirping up a storm? I know they were when I was there for our last episode, which you can watch. Watch this right there. I think that's where it goes. The tag. That's for our wrap up of the Premier League season that just ended in the past month or so.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The cicadas were here for about a month, and I've seen none in the past 2 weeks. It's been kind of strange. Maybe a week, but it's been kind of strange.
It sounds like it's been very pleasant then. I guess they're back in their Are they 17 or 15? I don't know. Who cares? This is not an entomology podcast. This is a soccer podcast, all right? Let's go ahead and get down to business. We got a big old juicy one kicking off this Friday going into next week. The UEFA European Championships, with most of the big players actually in the tournament this year. We're missing some in the last Euro. This year, all we're missing is Denmark, who I think was like ranked 22. But other than that, the big boys are all in play. And we're going to go ahead and start off by breaking down the groups and then the first matches of each group. Now, unlike most other tournaments, Champions League included, well, I guess it's similar to the World Cup. You only get one. There's no home and home. It's one match, one and done against each of your opponents in the group stage. So each match is rather vital for your advancement in the tourney. And we'll go ahead and just kick it off at the top of the alphabet with Group A, which is Germany, Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland. Now, I did do number crunching on all of these. That's an average per FIFA rankings of 25th across the world. So, not the lowest, sort of middle of the road as far as competition is concerned in this. And most of you are probably thinking, oh, well, Germany will sweep this one easy. No. This is not your mother's Germany team, okay? There actually, it kind of is, because there's a lot of names that you will recognize from previous versions of this German team. Not a lot of up-and-coming talent out of Germany right now. With like some of that main lines being like Leroy Sané, who's 28, so he's basically in his prime. But not a lot else going on. Kai Havertz will be one of their main forwards in this. But this is not an insurmountable German side, as we've seen in the past.
Yeah, I'm excited for this group. I think Germany always has big names, but recently they haven't been playing up to par. I think Switzerland is always a team to watch out for. Scotland even has some big names with McTominay and Robertson. Hungary, honestly, no idea who they have, but they're in it. So we'll just see what they bring.
They're ranked competitively.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I think this group could actually be a wild card group, but only two go through.
Only two. And I actually do have it rather topsy-turvy. So, fourth, I've got Hungary because I don't know much about them. I feel like we'll see what happens with them. I don't know many of their players. Third, Germany. I've got them getting bounced in group stage, leaving second to Scotland, the Fighting McTominays. And then first, I've got Switzerland. I just think that Switzerland is always kind of under the radar because they just play kind of solid football. You know, all the Xhakas coming through there. They just kind of get the job done a lot of the time in a not super flashy fashion. And I think that they can take the group, obviously, because I picked them to do so.
Yeah, I do not have this one going as topsy-turvy as that. I have Hungary fourth as well. I think they might get a couple of points, but I don't see them winning a match. I think Scotland goes third. I think they have big names, but I don't think they're a unit yet. I think Switzerland goes one, just like you picked, and Germany two. I think Germany is going to have to grow into who their team is. I think they have the big names. They have the talent, obviously. But they've kind of been cycling through managers. I think they're on their third manager maybe now in the last 2 or 3 years. So there's not a lot of consistency there. Not really sure what team we're going to get. I'm going to go they get second.
Well, I mean, we'll know pretty early off because Germany does kick off the action on Friday against Scotland. So we'll see. We'll know pretty quickly how bogus my picks are in this group, I think, with that Germany-Scotland being pretty key to the final shakeup of what we go through here. Next, we have this one. You know, there are two groups of death for different reasons, in my estimation. This is one of them. Group B, Spain, Croatia, Italy, Albania. We've got numbers 8, 9, and 10 in the world all together. And then poor little Albania ranked 66, which bumps this up to 23 and a quarter world ranking. But we've got 3 top 10 teams all in one. So this one, we've got some heavy matches that'll be coming our way.
You know, it is always hard to count out Croatia. It seems like they are in the semifinal or the final of every major tournament. I have them getting second in this group. I actually have this group going the exact way on my screen that Group B has it set up. I have Spain 1, Croatia 2, Italy 3, Albania 4. Italy, they've always disappointed. I don't even think they made. They didn't make the World Cup.
They didn't make the World Cup, and they may not have made the Euro prior to that.
They haven't been doing great. I think Roberto Mancini might still be their manager. I think he's turned them around, but I still don't think they're the type of team that's going to dominate like they need to at the Euros. I think they've been a team that can beat a couple of teams 1-0, 2-1, kind of going back to that Italian defense, but I don't think they quite have it yet. Maybe 2026 World Cup, we'll see Italy return to resurgence, but I don't think it's going to happen in this Euros.
Yeah, I've got almost the same thing. I've just flipped Croatia and Spain. That's all I've got because I think you're right. Italy, until they show us that they'll perform in international competition again, I don't trust them to. I don't have any reason to trust them to. Their biggest star on the team right now is their goalkeeper, Gianluigi Donnarumma. I mean, that can win you some matches, some low scoring matches, but it's not doesn't bode well for a tournament. So I've got basically the same thing, just with Croatia and Spain flipped. So one team beats Italy, the other team draws Italy, and then they all beat up on Albania because Albania is going to get swept in this one. They've got poor Albania. That's a tough group for them. That's a tough draw. We move from there to Group C, which is Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, and England. England gets the good draw of all the major teams, aside from maybe Portugal, which we'll get to later. Belgium's was pretty nice as well. But England only has to deal with Denmark at 21 as far as world rankings, Serbia at 33, and Slovenia at 57. So I think this one, I don't know how much we're going to get out of this one. It comes down to, will Denmark or Serbia finish in second, in my estimation. I have it as Denmark. I have this one going chalk. I have England, then Denmark, then Serbia, then Slovenia. Because there's, Denmark has some players, but I think England actually gets through this. Now, are they cursed because they didn't pick Jack Grealish? We'll see. But I still have them going first in group stage.
Yeah, England made some questionable choices for their squad. They left out several big names, Jack Grealish being one, Stones being another. They actually left out a lot of experienced players. I actually have them getting third in this group. Really? I have Denmark 1, Serbia 2, England 3, Slovenia 4. Slovenia, I don't know if you even have the stuff to get a point. I'm hoping you do. But I just think Denmark, again, another team that really shows up in these matches. as we know, Euro 2021, they happen to have Christian Eriksen have a heart attack. So we're hoping that doesn't happen again. But he'll be back on the pitch with his pacemaker. Hopefully everything goes well. But I think Denmark is going to be pretty motivated to continue the momentum they had in the last Euros. And I think Serbia is a team. If we're going to talk about teams in this one, Serbia, whenever they play, they are a unit. So I think that's going to serve them really well in the groups. I just don't think England's a unit. I think there's too many young players, too many stars, really. Like they have Palmer, they have Foden, but how are they actually going to set up? What are they actually going to play like? I don't think they know. They just got beat 5-0 by a team. So
it's sort of the opposite of Serbia. They're a collection of talent. They're not a team. Yeah,
and collection of talent doesn't always win you games.
No, sometimes it's a totally separate sport, but you always go for old guards when you're coming to the NCAA March Madness tournament. If you've got a team with senior guards who can handle the ball and distribute, they're a good team to get on that bandwagon for. Yeah, and they've left some of the old heads off of the team going into this, so. We'll see if it pays out. We'll see if good old Gareth Southgate is able to keep his job past this tournament. We'll see eventually. Then to the other group of death. This is Group D: Netherlands, France, Poland, and Austria. A 15.5 average ranking here as far as UEFA is concerned. So this one, it's not. It's a little bit, it's kind of split. There's two pods here. We've got the 2 and the 7 for France and Netherlands, respectively, and then the 25 and 28 for Austria and Poland. So it's like, can either of those teams extract enough points out of their matches against the upper teams to get through? And as far as I'm concerned, I think France is too good. I think they go number 1, and I think Netherlands follows it up. I think they get number 2, and then Poland beats out Austria. These are technically the underdogs in the group to get third, with fourth going to Austria.
This one is tough to pick.
It is.
Because Austria actually played really well, I think in the World Cup it was, and in the last Euros they played well too. I think they're kind of like Serbia. They're a team. Poland is more like England. Every time I've seen them play, it's if Lewandowski doesn't play well, Poland does not play well. So I think it'll be pretty easy for teams to bottle them up. So I have, I don't want to go with the big dogs, but I think I have to.
Yeah.
I have France 1, Netherlands 2, Austria 3, Poland 4. Again, France is really good. I think Netherlands placed them pretty close. The Dutch, they might make a resurgence. They are young. They're talented. I like the way they're playing. I think I'm going to put them 2 just for my own sake, but I think they could get 1. I don't know. They could go far.
They are certainly a very talented team as well. And they're 90 degrees from France, as in their flags. I was looking at the flags for this group, and they're pretty boring. There's Netherlands, which is red, white, blue. France, which is red, white, blue. I'm going for you in the camera, so that was not how it is for me. And Poland is just white and red, and then Austria is red, white, red. It's pretty boring for flags. If you're into flag culture, which I'm sure a vast majority of our audience is really into country flags.
Oh yeah.
Move on to that and into one that has more interesting, just if only for Slovakia. But Group E: Ukraine, the Ukrainians, Slovakia, Belgium, and Romania. There is one obvious favorite in this one, which is Belgium, with our good old boy Kevin De Bruyne. And then you'll get the guys going for second. How do you think, how chalky do you have this one going?
I have Belgium sweeping. I think they win all 3 matches. I think I have Slovakia too.
Really?
Slovakia has pretty solid defenders and a solid goalkeeper. I think that's really important for tournaments like this. I don't know if I could put Romania and Ukraine both at 3, I would. I don't really know who's going to I'll just say Ukraine because I think they're a better team, more experienced. But
Yeah.
I think Belgium and Slovakia are 1 and 2 for me.
That would be interesting and sad for the people of Ukraine. I also have Romania and did I say? Oh, I didn't say what I had. Yeah, I had Belgium in first. I did have Ukraine going second, Slovakia third, and then Romania in fourth. That was a 29.75 in average ranking. And then to the rest of the teams, Portugal sixth ranked in the world, and then you've got Georgia. I don't know. Georgia they won like a play-in tournament or something. Because they are ranked 75th here and really pulling down the average ranking for this one. But they also have Czechia, I think is how you say it. When I was growing up, it was the Czech Republic, but it's reading Czechia here, so that's how I'll say it now. And then Turkey, which they do with an umlaut, so I don't know. Turkey, possibly. I'm not sure they want me to say it, so I'm just going to say Turkey. This one, I don't. Other than Portugal going through, I don't have a lot. I think Czechia is going to get second. I just don't think that Turkey has it in them. And then Georgia, you're ranked 75th in the world. You're just happy to be here.
You know, I think that I'm going to have Portugal 1, Georgia 2.
Really? You think they're this year's Iceland,
3,
huh?
Turkey 4. I just think they feel like Iceland for me.
Yeah.
They feel like 2016 Iceland. Happy to be there. Not any expectation whatsoever. Kind of an easier back into the group, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
Portugal.
You get past Portugal.
If you could just get a point off Portugal, I think that you might be guaranteed to go through as long as you win another match. I think that they have Iceland vibes for me. So I could see them getting second and making some noise.
That would be interesting. I mean, they drew Scotland, beat Luxembourg, and then they got through apparently on a match against Greece that they won in penalties at 0-0, and they only lost to Spain 3-1. You know, so that's not too embarrassing.
Don't write them off. Don't write them off.
So you know, now did they lose 7-1 in Spain on the front end of that home and away? Listen, they did. They actually
different day, different time.
It was totally different team, different circumstances. I have no idea if it was a different team at all. But we'll go ahead and shift gears into actually picking the matches because we have. Before we come back, we're going to have all the first match day completed. So we'll go ahead and get started out with, as I mentioned previously, Germany and Scotland get us kicked off. And for the sake of my picks, I have this going 1-1, an opening draw for Germany and Scotland.
Yeah, I just want to add, if you look at the lineup of matches, whoever decided to schedule the European Championship is a master. Because he gave the people what they want. There's a game every 3 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they try to pull the wool over our eyes and put 2 games. Even the bad ones, they put a game at the same time as another. So if the man who created the schedule for the Euro 2024 is watching, thank you. Outside of that, I think I have Germany winning this one 3-1. I think Scotland gets a goal, maybe late, maybe early, I don't know. But I think Germany runs away with it 3-1.
That definitely helps you get your picks off in the right foot. Then we have the other half of Group A, Hungary and Switzerland at 9 a.m. on Saturday. I've got Switzerland taking it 2-0 over Hungary to get their tournament off on the right foot.
Yeah, I had the same score, 2-0.
Yeah, I think that one is definitely deserving of a 9 a.m. slot. Then to the other matches. Group B finishes out the other 2 matches on Saturday. First up is Spain and Croatia. How do you have that one headed?
I think I have this 1-1. I think both of them are the top 2 teams in the group, so I have it 1-1. Again, Croatia, Spain is young. Spain does not have the experience that Croatia does. I think Spain is young enough in talent that they can be creative, they can be quick, they can score goals. but I think Croatia just has that experience. As long as they stay healthy, I think they'll go far. So I have it 1-1.
1-1. I've got it 2-2. So yeah, very similar vibes for me. I think that the matches that are involving the top 10 teams are going to be the most interesting here. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I think that both of them get stretched out and get their muscles flowing, but neither of them come away fully satisfied because they only get 1 point out of it. And then Italy has their chance to beat Albania. I think it goes 1-0. I think it's actually a pretty disappointing Italy result. You'd be hoping for more. Whoa. But what about you? Do you think how much do you think Italy takes it by?
I think it's going to be a gutsy 2-0 win for Italy. I think they're going to get a goal early, and it's going to be kind of a tug of war until near the end, and Italy gets another.
We'll see. We will see. And then to our Group C match. Oh, actually, it starts off with one match from Group D on Sunday. Poland and the Netherlands. I think this one's really fun. I think this goes 3-2 to the Netherlands to get us started off with some fireworks there in Group D, our true group of death. I'm excited to watch those sides tee off against each other.
Yeah, I think Netherlands take it 3-0.
Wow.
I just don't see how Poland can create in the midfield. They don't really have a ton of creators. And honestly, the last couple of times I've seen them play, it's just been Lewandowski up top. Let's try to get him the ball. And that's been about it. There hasn't been any sort of creativity in the middle. I think that's going to hurt them. The Dutch take it 3-0.
The Dutch take it 3-0. Then Group C is the noon and 3 p.m. matches, Eastern Standard Time, obviously, with Slovakia taking on Denmark. Now, how do you have that one going for Slovakia and Denmark? Wait, Slovenia and Denmark. Let me correct myself there.
I mean, I would, similar flags, similar starts. I think Denmark take it 2-1. I think Slovenia gets a goal. I think Denmark takes it.
I've got it as 2-0. I think Denmark really makes a statement here that they're really trying to get through. I mean, they should as far as rankings are concerned, but, a 2-0 start over Slovenia is definitely the way you want to start your tournament. And then Serbia and England. Now, I bet you've got something very interesting for this.
I have this one going 1-1. I don't think this is the shocker that England loses. I think that's later. But I do think it's kind of a gut punch of we probably should have won this one, but we didn't. What do we do now? So I think it's 1-1.
I'm confident in England. I think that I know I called them a collection of talent rather than a team. But that talent's pretty good out there, I think that they'll work pretty well together. I've got his 3-1 against Serbia. I think that I've got hopes for England in this. I know that they left off some Man City players, but you know what? I'm a Wolves fan, so that doesn't mean that much to me. And I know they left off all of my Wolves players because I don't know which ones I would have taken. None of them is the answer. None of them. I sure hope there's no Wolves players on England now because I've totally dropped them from my memory if they are. I don't think they are.
Connor Cody used to be, but don't.
He also used to be a Wolf. So there's that too. Then we go to Monday with Group E. Both the matches early on are Group E. We've got Romania and Ukraine. I've got Ukraine actually taking this one 2-1 over Romania to get their tournament on the right foot. I mean, I've got them going second, so they need the points here. They could take a single point, but they would like 3.
Yeah, I think it goes 0-0.
Oof.
I think it's the first goose egg of the tournament. Yeah. I think it's going to be an earlier match. Romania is probably going to park the bus. Ukraine, I don't think has the talent to be able to break that bus. So I think it goes 0-0.
No, you could see it happening. And then for Belgium and Slovakia, This one I did get right. It's Belgium and Slovakia. I think Belgium is too good. I think they take that 3-0. I think they put their foot down and announce themselves in this tournament as serious contenders.
Yeah, I have this one as 5-0. Not much to say about it, but I just think Belgium. I mean, Belgium has been the golden generation for the past 8 years.
Yeah.
And it's really their last chance in that generation.
Yeah.
Like Lukaku's older, De Bruyne is older. Vertonghen, I think, has already retired. So all those guys that were in the golden generation are now, Hazard retired. He aged out. So I think this is their last chance to really make a push for it. I think they start off hot.
If 5-0, I will qualify that as a hot start for Belgium if it does go that way. Austria and France round out that day of action. Do you think France gets all 3 out of that one?
I think they get all 3 and they score 3. I think it goes 3-1.
Hey, I got the same thing.
I think Austria gets a goal early, makes it interesting, and then France kind of settles in, gets a goal every 15 minutes in the second half. I think they figure out that we're actually France. So I think they'll be just fine.
Yep, I think that's easy. Like I said, 3-1 as well. Then to our last matches of match day 1 next Tuesday, Turkey and Georgia at noon. I got this one as a 2-2 draw. I think that these sides are both, neither of these teams are playing with any sort of expectation. So I think that this will be a nice free and loose match, a good 2-2 draw.
Don't count out them Georgia boys.
You didn't, for sure.
2-1. Georgia beats Turkey and establishes the start of a Cinderella run.
Huge for them.
2-1.
That'd be huge for them. And then the last one, Portugal and Czechia. I've got that as a 2-0 victory for Portugal, just because I think they're winning the group. I'm trying to stay consistent with my group picks.
Yeah, I was looking to see if Ronaldo is going to be there. He's still there.
Is he? He's named on the team?
He made the team. I thought he had retired. Apparently not. He's on the team, and that gives me a little bit more hope for them. I think I got to go Portugal. I'll go 3-0. I think defensively they're pretty sound. I don't know who on the Czech Republic is going to actually be able to score. So, yeah, 3-0.
I'm definitely gonna ride with Portugal because they've got Jose Sa. They've got my Wolves goalkeeper there, so all the way for Portugal. It's gonna be Portugal and Belgium in the final. That's gonna be the final. We'll see what happens. But that brings us to the end of that. We do need to just briefly talk about the Champions League final. As seems appropriate for how this season has gone, I did get the Champions League final exactly right. So that helped me get back a little bit more of my deficit to you in the overall rankings. We're not going to do the rankings for these summer tournaments because I don't want to look up all those numbers. But it did end up with me being quite good at picking the Champions League matches. Not a great final though. Not a great final. But Borussia Dortmund played very well in the first half, and then it just kind of felt like Real Madrid squeezed the life out of them in the second half after they missed all their opportunities in the first, and just slowly took over the match and ended up being, I think, 2-0, right? Yeah,
2-0. Yeah, this one. I mean, really, for the first 65 minutes of the match, besides a couple of chances, I really felt like Dortmund controlled it. I felt like first half they were the better team. Started the second half, they were the better team. And then it took just one corner and one header from the shortest guy on the entire field to break everything down. It felt like once Real Madrid scored, Dortmund their passes got sloppy. They didn't look as focused. It kind of really broke them. I think they really needed that goal to break through and they couldn't get it. And then the Vinicius goal kind of felt like it was coming. So heartbreaking to see Dortmund lose. I felt like they had a chance to pull ahead. They just couldn't convert. But Real Madrid remains the kings of the Champions League.
Yeah, it did feel like when that goal went in off the corner, it was sort of like they felt like they had to get up first. Like they had to score first, Dortmund felt like. They didn't feel like they could come from behind, so they started panicking essentially. And ended up losing. But yeah, it was a decent match. I wouldn't say it was a great match. It wasn't like some of the other ones that we've had this season. But, we'll be back for a next one next year and see if City can avenge their loss to Real Madrid at some point along the way. If they're allowed to play any soccer next year. We'll see. Maybe they'll just ban the team for the whole year. Or what are they doing with the charter or something? I saw a news story I didn't read. Well, I didn't want to pay for a Washington Post membership, so I didn't get to read the whole article. No, Wall Street Journal article. What are they doing with the charter?
I don't know what we're doing with the charter. All I know is that City is suing the Premier League now because all of the sanctions against them, City is now saying goes against the actual law in Britain.
Okay.
Because the Premier League rule states that you can't use endorsement money to pay, like you can't use it as revenue to your business.
Okay.
But they're citing a couple of British laws that say you can, and they're basically suing the Premier League saying they're not above the law.
Yeah.
And there's a few lawyers out there that are like, they actually have a pretty solid case against it, at least for the Premier League not being able to punish them for it. Like they can come back and say, okay, like yada, yada, like we'll slap on the wrist. But people just think that they may win the case. City might win this case, and the issue is that would just give more money to the big teams.
Right.
But I'm also like, they already have more money.
Right.
And it's already clear they have more money. And I don't think the endorsement difference is going to destroy the Premier League. I think, I don't know. Players aren't just going to go to City to just sit on the bench and get paid $150,000 a week. Maybe they do. But honestly, that's not really happening right now. Like people are going there to get better, to play. So I don't see that randomly happening just because now they have endorsement money that gives them an extra $100 million. We all have an extra $100 million lying around. It's not that big of a deal.
Nah.
We don't actually. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that crucial of a decision. Some people think it would end the Premier League as we know it. I'm not a doomsdayer. But there is now a lawsuit against the Premier League that apparently a couple of other big clubs have started to back as well. So we'll see. Who knows? The Super League may be coming back. I don't know.
Oh, hopefully
Who
not.
knows?
I don't want that. Well, I don't think I really want that. Nope, I don't want that. I decided no, I don't. All right, well, that is all we've got for today. Since we're more on a weekly / not exactly stated schedule, we don't have any trivia unless you prepared. Did you prepare?
No, I have zero trivia.
We weren't planning on doing trivia. So no trivia for today. We'll come back next time. Go ahead and, I don't know, like and subscribe. Drop a comment down below. Who do you think is going to be the surprise of the tournament? Who do you think is going to win the tournament real quick? We'll just go ahead and shout out who we think is going to win it. I'm going to stick with Belgium. I think Belgium wins it finally.
I don't know who can beat France.
That's fair.
I think it's going to take a big team effort. I think they're the favorites. I'm probably going to go with the favorites. As much as I want Georgia to win, I don't think they're going to make it quite that far. So I think I'm going to go France as the overall winner.
Yeah, it's a smart pick. I mean, they've got so many very good players. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's all kicking off on Friday. We'll be watching it. But until we get back, let me change my view here real quick. why don't you go ahead and grab your coffee, watch some soccer, and we'll see you on the other side. Soccer!